Under miscellaneous business, House Bill 444, House Draft 1, relating to civil unions.
Senator Hooser.
Madam President, pursuant to Senate Rule 52, I move to recall House Bill number 444, House Draft 1, from the Committee on Judiciary and Government Operations.
Senator Ihara.
Madam President, I second the motion.
Madam Clerk, has 20 days elapsed since House Bill 444 HD1 was referred to committee?
Madam President, House Bill 444, House Draft 1, was referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Government Operations on February 18, 2009. The required number of days have elapsed since referral.
In accordance with parliamentary procedures established pursuant to Mason's Manual of Legislative Procedures 2000 edition, the Chair will provide for limited debate on the motion to recall, but HB 444 HD1 is not open to debate. Is there any discussion? Senator Hooser.
Madam President, colleagues, I rise in support of the motion to recall House Bill 444, House Draft 1, from the Committee on Judiciary.
Please proceed.
Madam President, I rise today and humbly ask that the members join me in a vote to recall House Bill 444, House Draft 1, a bill that extends the same rights, benefits, and protections and responsibilities of spouses in a marriage to partners in a civil union. I'm asking for your help and support, members, not as a majority leader, but as an individual senator and as a primary sponsor of the Senate version of this bill. But more so, as someone who believes strongly that it is my duty and obligation, that it is our duty and obligation to treat people equally and to provide and protect the equal rights of all people.
Madam President,
Senator Tsutsui.
point of order. I believe the speaker should be speaking to the merits of the motion on the floor and not the merits of the underlying measure.
Senator Hooser, please continue your statements as to the procedural motion.
Yes, Madam President. I'm speaking in support of pulling this bill to the floor because I believe in the principle that it is our duty and obligation to treat people equally and to provide and protect the equal rights of all people. And that is why I'm here today to request that each of the senators support the pulling of House Bill 444, House Draft 1, to the floor, because that's the only way we will have a full and open debate and ultimately a full and open vote on these issues and on answering the important question, should we extend the same rights and benefits, protections and responsibilities of spouses in a marriage to partners in a civil union?
Madam President, point of order. The senator now
Point.
speaking has some good points that should be addressed on the substance of the issue. But the motion now is to have us vote to determine whether there is a constitutionally required 1/3 number of senators to recall the measure to the full Senate. Thank you.
Senator
President.
Hooser, Senator Ihara.
I rise on a point of parliamentary inquiry or
Please state your point.
information. I believe the movant has the right to speak to explain why he wants to recall the bill. I believe that it is not in order to debate the merits of the bill, but I believe he has the constitutional right on this constitutional recall motion to explain why he wants to recall the bill.
Senator Ihara, the point is well taken. Notwithstanding, what we are debating here is the recall motion, and it's a procedural motion in nature, and it is the chair's ruling that the debate is to the procedural motion of the recall. Senator,
Madam President, may I ask a question?
proceed.
Am I allowed to describe the bill that we're talking about at all, or just by number?
You can describe the purpose of you can describe for a limited purpose what the bill is. And I think you have done that, Senator
Right.
Hooser. But if you wish to restate what the bill is, please state what the bill is.
Thank you, Madam President. I think it's important that the purpose of the bill, as is stated on the bill itself, these are not my words, Madam President. I think they speak to the very fundamental nature of this debate. The question is, in the bill, should we extend the same rights, benefits, and protections and responsibilities of spouses in a marriage to partners in a civil union? That's what we're debating, whether or not to pull to the floor from committee. For me, the answer is yes. Without question, we should do both. We should pull this to the floor for a full debate, and we should extend the same rights. At the minimum, the question deserves to come to this floor for a public discussion and a public vote, rather than to sit bottled up in committee, hamstrung by a 3-3 tie vote. This is an important issue about the fundamental rights of people. And if it's allowed to sit bottled up, and I'm here today to unbottle it, encourage my members to vote, to encourage members to vote, it will simply wither away and die, an ignoble and anonymous death, stuck undecided and unresolved in committee because of a tie vote. I believe that's what will happen if we do not pull it to the floor, and that's what I'm speaking to. This is an important issue. It deserves more than just to sit in that committee unresolved and undecided because we had a tie. This issue and the people that have brought the issue forward, the people who have worked so hard to get it to where it is today, deserve to have it discussed and voted on by the full Senate. And I'm here today to ask for you to join me and allow this to happen. House Bill 444, House Draft 1, lies stuck in committee because of a tie vote after traveling over 2 years through the process. A similar effort to pass legislation died in the House 2 years ago after the House Judiciary failed to take a vote on it. Advocates were told at the time, be patient, take the next year off, build a broad-based coalition, include labor, religious groups, and others around the community in your effort, get it passed in the House, and we are pretty confident the votes in the Senate will be there. So guess what? That is exactly what they did. They were patient, they took a year, they gathered broad-based community coalition support, loud, diverse support, strong support. And just a few days ago, that coalition issued a statement asking this body to recall the bill from committee and to take a full vote in the Senate. And I have an open letter to the senators speaking to the issue of the recall. It says, as leaders of diverse communities across the islands, we call on you to bring the civil unions bill to the floor for passage. We believe this is a civil rights issue. This is an issue of economic justice. This is about Ohana. This letter is signed by Dr. Amy Agbayani, co-chair of the Friends of Civil Rights and Filipinos for Affirmative Action, Sean Benton, president of the Japanese American Citizens League, Alfonso Braggs, president of the Hawaii NAACP, Puanani Burgess, principal of One Piece at a Time, Eric Gill, financial secretary of Unite Here Local 5, Debbie Hartman, former chair of the Hawaii State Board of Education, Lynette Hi'ilani Cruz, professor of anthropology, president of the Kale Ma'ili Ali'i Hawaiian Civic Club, Faye Kennedy, co-chair of the Hawaii Friends of Civil Rights, Poka La Inui, director of the Institute for the Advancement of Hawaiian Affairs, Brian Mattson, president of the Musicians Association, Wayne Panoki, executive director of Liliuokalani Coalition, Vicky Holt Takamini, executive director of Pa'i Foundation, Allison Tasaka and Debbie Shimizu, co-chairs of the Hawaii State Democratic Women's Caucus. These are leaders in our community speaking directly to the issue of pulling the bill from committee and strongly encouraging us to do so.